Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Once Upon a Crescent, a collection of bedtime stories for young Muslim children. I am your author and storyteller, Mrs. Hashmi. Are you ready to travel to a land far, far away? Tonight's bedtime story is called Mind Your Own Business, a story about Barakah. Before we can go to the story, we have to talk about the word Barakah. Barakah is something that grows, some special blessing that Allah allows to be inside of a good deed. There's goodness that comes from it, and it's a continuous goodness. It spreads far and wide. You know, it's that feeling that makes you say, "What? How is this even possible?" That's Barakah. Now back to our story. In a kingdom far away, there lived King Ahmed. He was eagerly waiting for the annual festival to begin. Every year, he searched through every stall and cart to find the perfect gift for his queen. He wanted to get a unique and rare gift for his wife. All the salesmen of the kingdom came in hopes to impress the king. Among the salesmen was an honest date seller named Abdurrahman. He set up his cart of dates every morning. Every morning of the festival, he started his business with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. There was another date seller nearby who had beautiful, velvety, sealed bags of dates. Anytime there would be a person walking by, he would announce, "These dates are delicious. My dates are sweet and plump and sealed in these special bags to make sure that they stay soft and fresh." Abdurrahman watched this salesman for some time, and he saw him add heavy oval-shaped rocks to the bag and also a few dates. Customers buying it thought that the dates were plenty, and they loved the price that he marked it down to. Abdurrahman looked away, but that man offered him the bag to do the same with his dates. He said proudly, "You can earn so much more money this way." Abdurrahman felt uncomfortable. But it's dishonest, and Allah is not happy with those that tell lies. The man argued back, "It's not lying, it's just a trick." Abdurrahman says, "Well, I'd rather do it the right way and earn Allah's pleasure and barakah. Thanks, but no thanks." "Barakah? I am literally going to be more rich than you by the end of the day. Let's make a bet. You tell me how much you earned, and we will compare at the end of the day and see who made more money at this festival." That date seller felt confident, but so did Abdurrahman, because whatever the earnings would be at the end of the day, at least Allah would have put barakah in it because Abdurrahman was trying so hard to be honest. The day came to an end and both date sellers compared their sales. "You earned 25 silver coins and I earned 100 silver coins. I'm going to celebrate my awesome day by buying a nice, juicy, roasted leg of lamb for my family for dinner. You go and enjoy a simple, measly fish from that fish market. Told you, you should have done it my way." Abdurrahman felt confused and sad. He didn't care about winning the bet, but he did care about giving his family the best that he could provide. He thought about how that leg of lamb must taste. And the expressions of his wife and kids if he came home with a grand meal like that. He shrugged off his daydream and headed into the fish market. Abdurrahman was lost in thought as he watched everyone hustle and bustle past him at the fish market. "Salamu alaikum, you look like you've had a rough day, brother," said a fish seller. "Why don't you take these 2 fresh fish for the price of 1? A lucky deal for you." Abdurrahman smiled. "Lucky deal? I don't think so. I'm sure this is from Allah, and He meant to give me barakah in my earnings." He went home excited to tell his wife how he got 2 fish for the price of 1. His wife was delighted at this unexpected good news of extra food in the house. She decided to make 1 fish today and 1 for tomorrow. Abdurrahman's wife entered the kitchen. As she cleaned the fish of its scales, she noticed something sparkling inside the fish. It was a rare pearl. How it ended up inside the belly of a fish was a mystery. She just marveled at it. It was beautifully perfect and round with a rose gold color. She went rushing to show her husband. Abdurrahman could not believe what a treasure landed at their house. Subhanallah, he said, this is a sign from Allah to show us the barakah He sends down by doing things the honest way. Just then, a man strolling in the neighborhood was making announcements. The deadline is near. The deadline is near, everyone. The king has not found anything for the queen that is unique and rare. Tomorrow he will hold one last day for the festival. Fellow salesmen of the neighborhood, pack your carts again for one more day of selling your goods. The king himself will be there. Abdurrahman and his wife looked at each other. They both were thinking the same exact thoughts. We'll sell the pearl to the king because the queen will love this jewel, his wife said excitedly. Abdurrahman could not contain his excitement. He waited and waited all night long for morning to come. Abdurrahman finished praying Fajr. He set out to the festival with all his dates out in the open. He found his regular spot and said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As the day went on, Abdurrahman started to feel discouraged. The king was not walking towards his side of the festival. When he finally came around to the other side of the festival, the king walked by but stopped at the other date seller's cart. He touched the velvety bag of dates, he picked one up, and rattled the bag. The king's face scrunched up. Salamu alaikum, he said cautiously to the other date seller. Let me remind you, dear brother, of what your Creator has said in the Quran. Verily, Allah knows the hidden things of the heavens and earth, and Allah sees whatever you do. I will not say any further. The king shook his head in disappointment and walked to Abdurrahman's cart. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. I want to tell you, I appreciate the openness of your business. It reflects your honesty. What is your name? Wa alaikum assalam. My name is Abdurrahman. I've been meaning to meet you, King Ahmed. I would like to show you a rare treasure my wife found in the belly of a fish. The king's eyes sparkled. He knew immediately what this meant. A pearl? He asked softly. Abdurrahman showed the king the pearl, and the king marveled at its beauty. Subhanallah, he said. My dear brother, this is worth a lot. I would like to offer you 10,000 silver coins for this treasure. Abdurrahman was stunned by the king's offer. The king grabbed a velvet bag from the other date seller's cart. The king dumped out the bag and used the soft bag to store the pearl in. Rocks and a few dates fell to the floor. The people who were gathered around looked angrily at the date seller as his trick became exposed to the people at the festival. King Ahmed packed his beautiful pearl neatly in his pocket and ordered his guards to give Abdurrahman 10,000 silver coins for this sale. King Ahmed also added, Please give anything I owe to that other date seller for his velvet bag. Abdurrahman's heart was pumping hard and fast. Tears of joy and gratitude rolled down his face, and all he could imagine was his wife and kids' expression. He repeated Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah all the way home. That night, Abdurrahman's wife prepared the last remaining fish for dinner. Abdurrahman invited his family and relatives for dinner to share this happiness with those that he loved. The guests in his home were happily waiting for dinner to be served, when all of a sudden they heard a loud... Standing there in the kitchen was Abdurrahman's wife. She dropped the knife from her hand unexpectedly, and her other hand covered her mouth shut. Abdurrahman came quickly to see if her hand was injured by the knife. As he approached her, though, he saw something sparkling inside the belly of this fish. Subhanallah, they both whispered quietly.